with more. Jen Kniffen, Chief Executive Officer of J. Rogers Kniffen and WWE and former senior executive at the May department stores. Jen, welcome so much for joining us. So Courtney was talking a lot about some of the secular issues facing department stores, as well as the confluence of recent events such as the tariffs that are providing headwinds for their business model. Macy's earnings today dragging down other department stores with it. If they can't succeed in this environment, can they ever?
Well, that's a really good point. Macy's is doing all the right things, and the numbers still wasn't good, right? They're closing unproductive stores. They're adding in lease departments. They're putting in off-price in their stores. They're doing a great job of growing online. Their mobile is growing phenomenally. So, yes, they're doing all the right things. The bad news is they're in the mall. The malls are doing poorly. So it's really hard to look at it. And they pay a great dividend, and they buy back stock. I mean, everything is what they should be doing, and yet the number still wasn't good. And even the top line, it was good compared to what people thought. It was right in line. But the number on the bottom line was poor because they really had to take a big hit on the gross margin line. They did the right thing there, too, like Macy's always does. They said, we've got a problem. We're going to get rid of it. We'll go into the fall clean. So I feel great about all of that. The real question is, if a company like Macy's does all the right things in the best consumer environment in the last 51 years, and the numbers are still tough, like you said, can it ever get better? So do I think they'll be the winner in their space? They'll be the only regional department, the only department store left in the moderate middle space? Yes, I believe that. But it's still going to be a very tough environment to make return on investment.
Is there anything that Macy's can be doing that they're not currently doing in order to protect their business?
I absolutely don't think so. I think Jeff is doing all the right things, just like I think Walmart's doing all the right things, just like I think Target's doing all the right things. I just think he has a much tougher road because we know mall traffic's deteriorating every quarter, every year for about 10 years now, and there's no sign of it letting up. So it's really a hard place to fight the battle. And then as it moves online, we know the returns online for everybody are lower than the return on investment in sales made out of the store. So that's a really hard fight as well, but you have to go there or you lose market share. So I think he's doing all the right things. I don't think there's something Macy really could be doing different than what they're doing. I just think the environment as a mall-based retailer is really tough and not going to get easier.
Hey, Jan, the timing on the delay of some of these tariffs, is it early enough? Did it happen soon enough for importers to be able to commit to the holiday season?
Oh, if you looked at my notes, nothing's really happened yet. Importers have brought in stuff early, so we know they're doing that. They'll continue to bring stuff in early. So this delay is certainly helpful. But as Jeff said, and I have been saying, we're not passing this through to the consumer because the consumer is not going to accept it on apparel and accessories. We have a worldwide oversupply, overproduction of the product. We've seen deflation there for 10 years in a row. Tariffs aren't going to change that. It is going to get absorbed in the change in the value of the dollar and the Chinese currency. It's going to get absorbed at the factory that doesn't want to see you leave the country, produce someplace else. It's going to get absorbed in the supply chain, and it's going to get absorbed by the retailer. But it ain't going to get absorbed by the consumer because they'll buy something else instead. They have plenty of substitution opportunities. They don't have to buy clothes. If they never buy another stitch of clothes this year, they won't go naked. And they may have to buy a pair of shoes, but they don't have to buy lots of pairs of shoes. So they will resist, and we will not see price increases coming in those categories, except for very few very strong brands.